Hey, oh, hey, happy Vlogtober. So it is Friday. I'm about to hit happy hour and go and kick it with my friends at this new West African restaurant called ChopNBlok. Really, really good. I've been there once before, so I'm looking forward to go. But before that, Diddy just was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So I'm hopping on Zoom with Fox 26 and of course Isaiah Carey. We got to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do first. And then we're gonna head on over to happy hour.
3, 2, 1. And welcome to the Factor Uncensored Off the Clock. And we have with us former prosecutor and now criminal defense attorney Vlogtober and Natay, radio personality, Emmy nominated. Glad to have you both here.
Thank you.
We now have a sentencing information in the Sean Diddy Combs case. He has been sentenced to 50 months and he must pay a fine, I think, of just over $200,000. This information is just coming in. And of course, that's why we have Vlogtober here. So what does this mean? 50 months and a fine. Let me get the exact amount of that fine. I think it's just over $200,000. But we'll get to that, Vlogtober. Your thoughts about the sentencing of Sean Diddy Combs?
What does this mean? Quite frankly, that the defense team won in this case. If we go back to the beginning, remember, he was charged with a lot of serious crimes. He was charged with the RICO violations. He was also charged with human trafficking, along with violation of the Mann Act. But he was looking at life. And what he was sentenced with today was 50 months. That's essentially a little over 4 years. And when you consider the fact that he's been in custody for 14 months, he's looking at only another 36 months in federal prison, and then he's be able to move on and live the rest of his life out in the free world. 50 months sounds like a lot of time, but it's sure not as long as life. And so, in my opinion, the defense team really did a good, solid win for Diddy Combs on this case.
And if they had not done such a good job, he would be looking at, the rest of his life in prison for the charges that he had, right, Vlogtober?
Well, yeah, and just to clarify, he was acquitted on the more serious charges. So he was only found guilty of the violation of the Mann Act, transportation of prostitutes across state lines. And he was looking upwards to 10 years per each conviction. So essentially he was facing at least, at maximum 20 years. And prosecutors were requesting 11 years for a conviction. And so even by that account, he still won, even in sentencing, because 5 is on the low end of the range of punishment that he was looking at.
And of course, I have found the correct amount of that fine, and it's $500,000. Once again, the fine that he's getting, along with 50 months in prison. And of course, that's 4 years and 2 months. Natay, your thoughts about this? You have covered Diddy for years. You've met him multiple times. Your thoughts about this?
Well, okay, so there's two ways to look at it. One, I do think that the judge wanted to basically make an example out of like violence against women, and also just about being held accountable for your actions. Today in court, Diddy already had a speaking engagement that was planned for next week. And I think that also oh yes, it was planned for Monday. His team said it wasn't a speaking engagement, it was a teaching engagement instead that was supposed to talk to people about reentry. So I think that the judge wanted to show that, hey, you know what? The anger, the violence that we saw, we're going to hold you responsible for that. And this is some time. Of course, he's going to a federal prison, which isn't as bad as the criminal prisons at all. And then on another note, like when it really comes down to it with this Mann Act, basically giving a prostitute a ride to work. It's like, man, he going to jail and got to pay $500,000, for giving a prostitute, a ride to work. Part of it you think is crazy. I mean, literally, I've always seen it like, well, dang, man, be careful on that carpool. That's the humorous side. Because I feel like you can find humor in everything. However, we saw the video, even though he did an 11-minute produced vanity video with friends and family and all that. But we also saw that video of Cassie and the anger, and heard all of the testimony from all of the people that he's been violent towards. And I think the judge wanted to let those victims know you have been heard.
And of course, today, Vlogtober, Diddy threw himself at the mercy of the court. Do you think that swayed the judge at all, or the judge had already made up his mind with the 50-month sentence and the $500,000 fine.
I think the judge did a good job of being fair and impartial. When you consider the fact that the defense team wanted him to get time served, which is 14 months, and the prosecution wanted him to get 11 years, what the judge did was he considered all the evidence. He considered the victim impact statements of people, most notably Cassie Ventura and all the other victims in this case. But he also considered the fact that Diddy did take accountability for his actions in that response that he submitted to the court. And he also looked at what the probation department gave, which was a 60-month recommendation. And taking all that into consideration, he kind of split the baby by landing at 50 months.
And what happens now? Does he go into essentially the Bureau of Prisons and they decide where he's going to spend these next 4 years? Or how does that work? Does he stay in New York? Could he end up anywhere in the country in the Federal Bureau of Prisons?
He's remanded back into the custody of the federal custody, most likely probably in the New York federal prison. And again, it's going to be 36 months because it's going to be 50 minus 14.
Got
So he has 3 more years.
And we'll, because there have been many people convicted in their home state federally, but they end up in another state serving their time. So, but we're not sure where he will go.
Yeah, we're not really privy to that information. That's really going to be left up to the federal prisons and, their capacity and where to hold, especially individuals like Diddy who are high-profile defendants. So we're not privy to that, but most likely he'll be remanded where he has been, which is in the New York federal prison system.
And Nate, how are fans reacting to this? Are there still Diddy fans out there?
Oh,
Are
absolutely.
people still standing by him?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when it comes to musicians, athletes, as well as, just popular people. Some people can compartmentalize, some cannot, I do want to put up also that, Diddy can still play the Trump card. He can still get a presidential pardon. I don't think he's going to be against even looking for that. You know what I mean? He's already kind of been throwing it out there that he wants that. So as far as affecting his career, I think that especially in hip hop and R&B, it's very gracious. If he come out with a hit, everybody gonna be doing the Diddy bop once again. And that's just the nature of people. People got their own problems. They're not really trying to take on his. They're like, if that's been pleasurable, I want to continue to listen to something pleasurable.
And how much weight did the victims play in this sentencing by OG? I think there was a young lady, one of the alleged victims, or one of the victims, who wanted to at least read her note before the judge or before the court. Did that happen today?
I think it did play some impact because when considering that the defense team wanted him to essentially have time served and walk out of prison after sentencing, the fact that he has to serve another 3 years indicates that the judge was in some part swayed by the victim's impact statements.
All right. And once again, Bioji, give us this tally of how much time, because I've been going back and forth with you, back and forth. He's already done a certain amount of time in federal prison being detained there, and now how much more time behind bars?
Yes, so when he was charged and awaiting trial, he had been in custody for 14 months. And now he was sentenced to 50 months. And so he has a remainder of 36 months, which is a win for the defense team in light of the fact that he was originally facing life for the more serious charges that he was acquitted of, and also in light of the fact that he could have been looking upwards to 20 years on the charges that he was convicted of, which was the Mann Act violation.
And of course, really quick, guys, and this is for both of you, he's still got a long road to travel civilly. There are still a lot of civil cases out there, and that will drain that bank. Not completely, I don't think, but if you look into settling or going to trial, that's going to take a toll on the bank account.
Oh, absolutely. Those lawsuits really started popping off after Cassie got her money, right? So it's like, well, how much is left to even collect? You know what I mean? I do believe in people being paid for their pain. Sometimes the criminal justice system isn't able to serve justice. So that's what civil court is for. Who knows, for all the victims out there, I mean, it does take a lot of courage to basically have the world try you all over again about whatever you had, suffered through. So I do wish them all the luck in getting whatever is going to make them peaceful at night.
All righty, and Bayoji, we want to let you go because we know you are in court right now. You stepped out to deal with this verdict or this sentencing with us. 36 months for P. Diddy, $500,000 fine. Nate, we want to thank you also for joining us off the clock. We appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Take that.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
So when does this one air?
Immediately, they're gonna put this on right now.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'll tell Keyshawn to send you links.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I appreciate that.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you, guys.
Y'all have a good
Bye-bye.
one. Bye.
All right. Bye. Have a good one.
So that was good. That was a great chat real quick. So it's time to go to happy hour. That's what we headed right now. Yep, so my girl Lydia and I are going to celebrate my friend Sadia for her birthday at happy hour. Heading over to ChopNBlok. It's this West African restaurant. So good. This is going to be my second time going, and we just riding through Houston. I miss living in the city. Right now I am more in the suburb area. Anywho, we're here at ChopNBlok. Real cool, complimentary valet because they classy based, you know what I'm saying? And inside is a vibe. I love it, okay? All the food is so good. We will get to that in a moment, but look at the vibe, you know, real actual plants, you know, no fake ones. It just felt really good in there, as it did the first time I went. And I love all of the art, the decor, and like I said, the vibes are just really great. And one time for the birthday girl, to my girl Sadia. We have been friends for over like 20 years. I actually hosted her wedding reception with Anthony. Hey Anthony. I love it when my worlds come together. Lydia and Sadia, they met. I love you so much. Happy birthday. Yay.
Yeah, I'm so happy whenever I get to see you. I'm low-key jealous when you post a picture. I'm like, oh.
Okay. Say that again for the microphone. No, I'm playing. Sadia and I are actually those friends that are always giving each other a hard time. We feel like if we're not giving each other a hard time, that means we don't really love each other. Toxically beautiful. Trust us, we're going 20 years hard in the paint together. Love her so much. Now, let's get to this food. Okay, so drinks was popping, happy hour, like 3 to 6:30. The chips and dip. Oh my God, the plantain is so good. I do suggest getting it separate so it doesn't get like a little wet. Love the suya. I just love suya in general. So shout out to all my Naija people, okay? And these little, today was like a shrimp and cheese dumpling, plantain bread, like banana bread, except for plantain. Delicious as well.
Hey everyone.
My line sister.
My nice sister, I love her. She's one of my favorite souls in the whole world.
I didn't even pay her to say that. I love my sham Shamitra, my line sister. Through her, I met this wonderful group of sister friends. I mean, at this table, hundreds of years of friendship, and it's amazing. The waitress was so nice to do that shot. I've been having to ask for help. And anyway, after ChopNBlok, later that evening, Lady and I said, you know what? We want some more. We're going to give it some more. So we went ahead and headed out to the Flat. I had not been to the Flat since my one-woman show. That's what we did, like the after party. That was in 2021. It had been a minute because I moved back to LA. Now I'm back in Houston. Anyway, vibes inside. I love it because it's an eclectic mix of people, inside, outside. Come as you are. If you want the outside vibe, which I prefer to sit outside, music inside was jamming. But overall, it was just a lovely day. And I'm just so grateful for my sisterhoods and being able to hang out and doing Vlogmas. Or really Vlogtober, because this is Vlogtober, not Vlogmas. Yeah. Anywho, I'm laying down. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.